I want to get a word in, an expert view from Sushant Sareen. He's Senior Fellow at the Observer Research Foundation and one of India's most well-known and well-regarded strategic affairs experts. Gaurav Sawant, our Managing Editor, is also with us. Sushant Sareen, first to you. I've been following some of the things you've been saying on social media since the story broke. What do you think about what has happened? What Trudeau said in Parliament and the things that have taken place following that? One diplomat expelled there, another diplomat expelled here. Your view?
Shiv, just look at what the Canadians have said, on the basis of which they've taken what can be called the diplomatic side of a nuclear option. What does Trudeau say? Credible allegations, and then he says potential link. And then he goes on to, give an entire litany of charges, none of which he has substantiated. His foreign minister then comes in and she says that there are allegations of involvement, and if these allegations are proven true, it would be very serious, right? Now, these allegations are still allegations. They have not been proven true, and yet they decide that they're going to expel an Indian diplomat. Now, clearly, this it smacks of something more than just simple, any information they might have. And let's talk about Canadian intelligence, or the lack of it. And the pun is on the word intelligence. Look at what the Indians have been telling the Canadians, that these Khalistani thugs who operate like a mafia, and like a mafia are organized, and they have politicians in their pay, perhaps at the highest levels of Canadian politics. Because why else would somebody like a prime minister or a foreign minister of a country defend a terrorist, right?
Yes.
A man who's also believed to be involved in drug smuggling and human trafficking. And yet, India has been apprising the Canadian intelligence of these characters. We've even demanded extradition of some of these fellows, and the Canadians have pretended that nothing is happening. How does that work? And suddenly their intelligence has become, or their security services have become so smart that they've unveiled the entire whatever happened to this Nijjar fellow, right? How has that happened? Then you come across Canadian investigation skills, and you yourself in your initial report, you spoke about the the bombing of the Air India aircraft, and the bombing of the Narita airport, and everybody's gone away scot-free. Now, what kind of intelligence or what kind of investigation work do these Canadians do, that they are now coming out openly and leveling these kind of allegations? And then, look, Canada has accused India of interference. But we know it for a fact, and I hold my own government responsible for turning a blind eye.
Yes.
There has been money which has been funneled from Canada into India to fund political agitation in India, to fund political parties in India. Isn't that political interference? The Canadians sitting in Canada openly and publicly claim to have carried out political assassinations, to have carried out gangland murders, etc., etc. And the Canadians write about them that these are political activists. This is freedom of speech and conscience.
Indeed, yes.
Would the Canadian authorities allow Al-Qaeda sympathizers to take out floats glorifying and eulogizing the 9/11 attackers?
Very, very true. Very true. This is
freedom of conscience and freedom of speech only when it is about killing Indians and Hindus? Let's talk about Canadian security services. There have been open threats against Indian diplomats. They have asked for their addresses. This is what Pakistanis do. When the Pakistanis were trying to get even with the American diplomats, they would name American diplomats. They would give their addresses, paint a target on their back. The Canadian have allowed this to go unanswered. They have allowed the vandalization of Hindu temples, the defiling of Hindu temples, and the defiling of the Indian High Commission to go unanswered. Threats have been issued against Canadian citizens.
Absolutely.
And against Indian diplomats, and the Canadians have not acted on it.